Hey, it's Hannes again. Welcome to this video. Today I want to show you how you can sound more advanced on your guitar. And the best thing is, you will be able to do that with the same old chords you already know, and you will learn just some small things that you can adapt to a lot of other stuff too, to make your guitar sound huge. So, before we start out, please make sure to check out my free lessons for beginners, which you find under this video in the video description. Check that out. I'd love to see you there too. And now we start out with the same old chords you already know and bring them into a more advanced sounding area. So, I played in the intro a D major chord. You can apply that actually to a lot of chords. I will show you in an instant which chords you can also use and fiddle around with. So, check it out. First, for the beginners out there, index finger, 2nd fret, G string, so 3rd string from down below, ring finger to the 3rd fret of the B string and middle finger to the 2nd fret of the E string. And now you first can do the chord progression before we go into some other stuff. So we take this shape and just shift it up the neck 3 frets. Every finger moves up 3 frets. So 1, 2, 3. You might call this an F over D, which means this is an F chord. Yeah, don't get confused because you think this is a D chord. You shift that up, it's a D sharp, it's an E, and then it becomes an F major chord. But the lowest note is a D, so it's F over D. And if you do that, then 1 fret below again, you go 1 fret back with every finger, you have an E, as I said before, E major over D, and then 1 more fret down the neck again, you have a D sharp over D. Sounds really weird if you play it on its own, but then you can release the tension and go back to D. Okay, so this is the principle. We build up tension, we bring it to a release again. So we have the D major chord, then 3 frets up we go to the F major chord, but still we play the open D string. Then E over the open D string, D sharp over D, and D again. For those who have no interest in learning theory, just think in frets. Shift up 3 frets, 1 fret down each finger, 1 fret down each finger, back to the original D major chord. And when you've done that, you can make it sound even more fancier by playing it with a strumming pattern like down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down. It's always the same thing. It's just an example on how to make your guitar sound huge with the tools you already got. So this is kind of hard to just do this strumming pattern all the time and being aware that you need to hit the low D string there, because this gives us the spice of the tension here. Especially for this chord, a lot of tension and release. This makes it sound so advanced, so cool to the ear. And now you can pimp it even more by doing it with a picking pattern, finger picking. I'm doing here the same thing all over and over again. I pluck with the lowest, the D string with the thumb, the upper string, the E string, with the ring finger, and I do that at once. And then the index finger is responsible for the G string, the middle finger for the B string. And they're responsible for the strings I just said all the time. So it's D and E string at once, then G, B. Then again the open D string, so. And then E, B with ring and middle finger again. And that's it. And then you can play around with this. Just stay on the chord, on the first chord. 3 frets up, 1 fret down, 1 fret down, and back to the D. If you have trouble with the picking pattern, just practice it on one chord first and then bring in the chord progression. You can do that, of course, with other chords too. The important thing here is it always sounds the best if you have the lowest note being played throughout open, so we have a really nice throughout ringing bass note. The same thing I just did, but I did it with the E major chord, middle finger 2nd fret B string, ring finger 2nd fret D string, index finger 1st fret G string, and I plucked the lowest note with the open E string here with the thumb. At the same time I pluck with the ring finger the G string, and then A and D string. The pattern itself is the same, just on different string sets here, okay? So the strings I pluck here are E and G at once, A, D, E, G, D, E and G at once, A, D, E, G, D. And then you take the chord and shift it up 3 frets, going down 1 fret again, going down 1 fret again, and back to E major. You can do that also with, for example, A major. You have this chord here. 2nd fret D string, 2nd fret G string, 2nd fret B string. And this picking pattern is the same, but we start out on the open A string and the B string at once, and then D, G, A, B, G. A and B at once, D, G, A, B, G. Okay, you get the principle of this, and then you shift the A chord, every finger 3 frets up, 1 fret down, 1 fret down. You could also do it with the C major chord. This is actually quite fun because we have the open string somewhere else here, and we play it like this. Really interesting soundscapes here again. Ring finger 3rd fret A string, middle finger 2nd fret D string, open G string, index finger 1st fret B string, and you pluck the same thing as we just did on the A major chord. Then you shift this up 3 frets up, 1 fret down, 1 fret down. You could call this C major. E flat major, and we have D11 and C sharp major with a sharp 4. Great chord. Back to C. So with this picking pattern and the fact that you build up a lot of tension by shifting up the shapes you already know, you can create with pretty easy tools some really interesting sounding things and soundscapes here. This is also good for developing your ear, it's good for developing your finger skills, being able to shift chords in a certain rhythm. A lot of things to learn here with, I think, easy tools. So I hope you had fun with this video. Let me know in the comments what you think about this video, and make sure to check out my free lessons for beginners, which you find in the video description also below this video. And thanks for tuning in, and see you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.